what I would advise people at this point is to outwork your competitors. This is the time now to give value when everyone's at home sitting on their cell phone. This is the time now to show value, show what you're doing, educate the people on problems they may have that they may not know that they have. Basically, guys, one thing you can do right now is go on your page, post, gain traction, use this time to get known. If you can afford it, start running engagement campaigns, get your name out there, start building information, because we will be back. And when we come back, you will have all the ammo you need to start taking over.
Welcome to Business Insights with Matt Milia. I'm your host, Matt Milia, and in this podcast, we'll talk about the real, raw, uncut business success secrets you won't find anywhere else. Follow my journey from entry level to CEO. We discuss real actionable items you can plug into your business right away. To subscribe to our weekly top tips, you can go to www.mattpodcast.com and join our community of elite high-level performers. And if you're interested in our inside sales company, you can go to www.appointmentstoday.com to jump on a free strategy call. And now, stay tuned for our podcast.
And you are. We're live.
Oh, all right, there we go. Hey, everybody. What's going on today? You are on live with Mr. Nelson Perez and, of course, the lovely Kristen. And this is Matt Milia Business Insights episode number 24. And I cannot believe we're almost halfway through an entire year's worth of episodes. But Nelson, welcome on. Thanks for joining us. And tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
First of all, I wanted to thank you, Matt, for having me on your podcast and on your show. I am honored to have the privilege. As you stated, my name is Nelson Perez. I am originally from the Dominican Republic. I came to the United States at the age of 8 years old. My father was, we were living there in the Dominican Republic, and he thought he had a pretty good life, but he wanted better for us. He wanted us to have a better life, a better future. So he brought us over to New York City. I was 8 years old. I was there for 2 years, and my dad he always keeps me motivated. He's a very hard worker. He's a visionary. He always tried to improve our life as our lives went on to give us the better opportunity to succeed. So we moved to Rhode Island 2 years later. We were there for 6 years. Now I'm here in Georgia. I've been here since 2014 in the metro Atlanta area. And I love it here. I consider myself to be from Georgia now, basically, because I've been here for more than half my life. I've been here for half my life. I'm 29 years old, almost half my life. I have a sales background. I've been in sales for 7 years. I started off selling for AT&T Corporate 7 years ago, selling home solutions, home security systems, selling direct TV, selling Uverse TV, internet services. And within the first 2 months, I was a top performer for the next year and a half in the whole area. It's something that I loved. I realized that I loved to sell, but I did not like my current schedule at the time. I was working weekends. I was working at night sometimes. And I realized, how can I take this sales, but do it on a better schedule where I can spend more time with my family? So that's when I switched over. I became a contractor for DirecTV, Charter, and Comcast, these are providers, cable providers, internet providers. And my job was to go to people's homes, install their service, and upsell them. So basically, as a contractor, we would make more money if we took it upon us to upsell the customer. If you're getting internet, you're gonna get TV and you're gonna get phone. And so it was something that I loved doing. We had some problems with 3 years later. We had the contract fell off, and I decided, how can I go help more? I wanted to start helping clients directly. I wanted to help, instead of just helping customers, I wanted to start helping businesses. So I started working for Total as an inside sales representative, working in the international department. I handled 28 clients all over Latin America. They purchase from Totals millions of dollars every year, doing like hotel projects and things of that nature. And I loved helping clients so much. I realized that I didn't just like sales, but I liked working with clients as well. So at that point, I started thinking, this was, I would say about 2 years ago, I started thinking, how can I combine sales? How can I combine helping clients over the computer and make it something that I can create a big impact. How can I help small business owners who struggle to get clients? We all know that's the way businesses survive, is getting more and more
Yeah.
customers. So I started thinking almost 2 years ago, I bought a course. I hired a coach, basically started paying him, and the rest was history, man. I fell in love ever since. I started working every day on it. I've been working with clients for close to a year now. I've had my agency for close to a year as well. And I can't believe that I get to wake up now and actually do what I love, which is help small businesses grow while doing what I love. From on my schedule, I'm selling and I'm helping business owners grow. So I'm very
Love that.
thankful for the experience and very happy to be here.
That's awesome. And for everyone that's tuning in, Nelly actually manages all of the ads for Appointments Today and does a phenomenal job. And like you said earlier, running your own, or maybe we talked about it beforehand, but running your own ads it's a full-time job because there's a lot that goes into it. And Nelly, if you would sort of share with everybody, as far as advertising goes, especially, and I know a lot of your focus, of course, Facebook, talking about Facebook advertising, what are you seeing as far as, you think cost per leads is going up? Is it going down? Is the cost of advertising staying the same? Of course, with everything that's going on out there now, what are your thoughts?
Well, I would say it depends on the industry. In some industries, it has dropped because there is less competition now. Some of your competitors are withdrawing and receding back, and that gives basically your dollar can now get to more people. So as more people are a little bit skeptical because of what's going on, but at the same time, you're getting to way more people. So it has sort of balanced it out. I haven't really seen any major impacts, any major shifts. We all know that this, what we're going through is something that is affecting the world, but it's something that is temporary. America is the hardest working nation in the world. So basically, we're being put away while we're falling in a hole. And when we come back out the gate, we're coming out swinging. I mean, everyone's coming out to work. Everyone's coming out to make up for lost time. So what I would advise people at this point is to basically outwork your competitors. This is the time now to give value when everyone's at home sitting on their cell phone and most people aren't working, or a lot of the people aren't working. This is the time now to show value, show what you're doing, educate the people on problems they may have that they may not know that they have. We can run doing this. The beautiful part about digital marketing and Facebook advertising is that we have so many options, right? So we can create, and let's say right now you may be a little scared to spend. Well, we can create an engagement campaign which gets to people for much cheaper. So if you want to be strategic, you can now use this opportunity to educate people, to get your self-awareness out there, to get people to know your business and create curiosity and want them to want what your business has to offer. So the beautiful thing is, as you gain traction now for a fraction of the cost, your competitors aren't doing that. When we come back out the gate, you have all the momentum necessary to literally take over a huge chunk of the market share that you may not have had before. So depending on the business, I believe this is a great thing for many businesses, honestly.
So I want to take a step back, and you gave a ton of value right there. So the first thing you had said is that if you're a first timer, guys, whether you've ran ads before or maybe you're thinking about it, what Nelson just shared was a total massive takeaway, because so many people try to hide the strategy, or they'll tell you what to do but not how to do it. And one of the things that I talked to Nelson about beforehand is I literally said, hey, would you mind opening up the book a little bit, tell everybody a little bit about what you're doing, because people right now are at home. There's so many more eyes on social media, but not just social media. Everyone's glued to their phones. We're living in uncertain times. But one thing is certain: when we get out of this, because we will, the people that put their best foot forward, the ones that continued to really get after it every single day, and they didn't stop marketing, because that's one of the most important things, is to continuously market and get yourself out there. Those are going to be the people that are unstoppable, and they're going to create a bond, and they're going to create a lasting impression with their potential prospects. Going back, though, to engagement, if everyone heard that, create your campaign. If you first get started, create things off of engagement. it is, you said that's the least expensive. Is that correct, Nelson? That you know?
That is, yes, that is the least expensive form of campaign because we're not looking to convert people necessarily. We're just looking to educate people. We're looking to give value. We're looking to get views. Now, this is not just, we're not just doing this just to get ourselves out there. We're also doing this strategically to gain information. We in Facebook, we have what's called a pixel, which basically a pixel is a tracking code that you would place on your website. Facebook tracks your videos. And as people engage with your content, as they like, as they share, as they watch your videos, we're collecting all that information. So now when it's time to launch and actually try to do a conversion campaign, we have a much tighter group of people that is more than likely to buy because we know they watched our videos, because we know they read what we posted. We know they clicked on our ads. So it's not just to educate people. We're killing two birds with one stone. We're educating people. We're building trust. We're giving value where no one is. We're doing things when our competitors are not. But we're also collecting a bunch of information in the back end that we're going to use to come out with a lot more momentum when we do decide to now give these people an offer. They were watching us. They might have been skeptical to spend, but when things come back up, we give them an offer they can't refuse. We remind them of the problem they have, and we are able to reach these people back and get back to these people. So it's a lot more in depth than just getting yourself out there. There are multiple pieces to it that are used strategically to accomplish one single goal at the end.
I don't know why. I just felt like we were in a Godfather moment there for a second. I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. I'm like, whoa, like, all right, like, so that's why the business is booming right now. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, so tell me a little bit about. So we're talking about running ads. We're talking about getting our brand out there, getting well known. You said something about pixels. Now, when we're talking about pixels, why would I need a pixel? Because there's a common misconception when people run ads, they think they run the ads one time, and they call it a day. I learned that the hard way many times because I throw a bunch of money at something and say, man, this doesn't work. This is terrible. What am I wasting my time for? And retargeting. Tell me a little bit about that pixel and what that all is. What is retargeting? How does it all work?
Okay, so there are two sides to the pixel. There is our side as marketers, and there is Facebook side. The pixel gives us as marketers so much power because we're able to track everyone that's engaging with our posts, with our ads. The beauty of that is that we're able to later use that information to build an ad and optimize it based on the audience. So once we start running ads, we keep pixels on everything, on engagement campaigns, on conversion campaigns. And what happens is once we're running conversion campaigns and the pixel's picking up information, let's say we're getting a lead for $20. We let that run for maybe 2 weeks. We collect 1,500 views on the video, or there are certain metrics that we have to hit where we can now use this information to recreate a new campaign, optimize, and drop the cost per lead. So it's not just something that you post and let go. It's something that you have to post, monitor, optimize. And as we drive the cost per lead down, we're getting more leads for the money. My job as a marketer is to continuously work on it, to optimize it, to get your cost per lead lower and lower while maintaining the quality until we get it to a point where basically we have really good return of our investment. So to get to the point where we put in $1, we get back $4. We put in $1, we get back $3. So it's all a process that takes months. It takes gaining information. It takes doing things strategically, but we're constantly monitoring it, making adjustments and working on it to drive your cost down and get you basically more customers for the same amount of money.
I love that. Kristen was my therapist at one point or another too. And because we were talking about months, and what was this, Kristen? Probably back in January when I was like, I can't believe this. I've already spent $1,000 and we don't have appointments and I'm confused and I don't know what's going on. And I mean, share a little bit on that, Kristen. Tell everyone a little bit about that.
I know when my ex-husband and I had our business, we felt the same way. Like, and the thing about Facebook is like, the only attention, now this was a couple of years ago, but the only attention I really got from Facebook is when I stopped spending money on my ad spend. Then I got their attention, right? So Facebook, keep in mind, Facebook really doesn't really care whether you get returns out of your ads or not. They just don't. So you're definitely going to want to listen to what Nelson says here, because it's gold. It's absolutely true. And it's not instant. Like, we would run an ad and be like, oh, and then you pull it before it has any momentum. I was famous for that, Matt. So I know what you're talking about. The one question that I do have, Nelson, is how many people do you need to be able to have to be able to retarget? How many? Okay. Is it 1,000 people?
Well, the more people we have, the more concentrated and more accurate our lookalike audience would be when we retarget. But once you start hitting the couple of thousands, you can start retargeting. It won't be as accurate as if you let it get to 10,000. So that's when the strategy comes into play. Do you want to run an engagement campaign with the same video, which is way cheaper, while we run this conversion campaign to get more engagements, to build our lookalike audience faster? Right. There are many ways around it. There are many, depending on the business, depending where they're at, depending how hot or cold the pixel is. There are many variables that go into account when it's time to decide to make that decision, basically.
Cool.
Good question.
And that's a great question, Kristen.
Oh, thank you. Well, especially if you're like, I think it's a little bit different. Like, I ran ads before for a girl that did like massages and massotherapy and like esthetician work, like facials, right? And we ran ads for her. And I mean, for a service that was in like 25 miles, like an actual brick and mortar service, it seems so much easier, you know, because you're like, it was women who were between this age, and this is where they lived, and this is the music they listened to. We kind of took the Billie Jean thing, and we had a flood of people. I think she spent $300 on ads, and we made her something like, I think she made like $3,500 off of that.
Okay. Not bad.
So like a service like that, I'm not saying right now in these times, but like a local service seems to be, we're also digital marketers. Like, we're in the space where we can help anybody, right? It's like, I'm almost envious sometimes of people who have the seal coating company that is, maybe you look in 30 miles and you see how you do. But like, I found that type of targeting way easier than like a nationwide kind of thing. You know, like nationwide's always a little intimidating for me. Just personal.
That's another good point, Kristen. The main difference is competition. When you're running ads across the country, there are thousands of companies running the same type of ad across the country for the same service. But when you're local, within 25 miles, more than likely there is not another business running ads within that area. So basically, when you're a small business, the benefits of that is you're able to drown all your direct competitors, because when as you're running ads locally, no one's doing it. You're the only one giving value. You're the only one giving offer. You're the only one that's active on social media. And as consumers, I mean, just put yourself in a consumer's shoes. Let's say you were looking to pay for a product or service, and you find these two companies on Facebook and you look for what they do. One is sharing a ton of value. One is posting every day. One is actually running ads. One page is dead. It's not active on social media. It's not running ads. As a consumer, who will you go to?
The active guy.
So that's the main differences. Online, there is much more competition. It's a lot more brutal than it would be with local businesses.
Well, guys, I mean, the value there is, I mean, there's so much right here. And one of the things, right, I'm like, wow, where do I go from there? But yeah, I mean, but here's the thing. If you are a local business right now, and Kristen, I totally get where you were saying, like, not right now, but here's how I look at it. I would put every penny, every dime, every nickel I have, maybe I wouldn't eat as well. Maybe I take some things away. I would literally budget my money and throw it in Facebook. And it's not because my guy who does marketing is on here. That's not why I'm saying it. I'm saying it because who consumes and owns the digital space right now is going to own the marketplace when everything is over. I mean, maybe a month, maybe 2 months, but
here's my thing. If I know, Matt, you have a relative that cuts hair. I mean, like, why would, you know, could you do like a live thing on how to cut your own hair, right? And then say, hey, come to me, and here's whatever, you get this, you get a sticker and a whistle when you show up, when you're ready to get another haircut and get it professionally done. Like, that's the stuff to me, like, go live, go and do stuff and be creative. If you don't have a lot of money right now, you could do that too. You know, people love procedural stuff. You know,
Exactly.
Nails, or if you do anything, because everybody's going to want to get that. My pedicure is like, oh my goodness, right? So that's going to be like my number one thing when I get out, is get my toes done. So I mean, if you are running that kind of thing and saying, hey, you know, and talking to people about the coronavirus and things like that, and just being honest, I think you've got something. Those local services that we all really need right now, you know?
Yeah.
Just a tip for that's a great point, Kristen. Just to piggyback on that, just a tip for everyone watching. The great thing about showing people how to do what you charge to do is that you create the curiosity. People think they can do it themselves, and they will attempt it. Now you got them wanting it. You got them where they are struggling. And at that point, you give them an offer where they can let a professional do it properly for basically an offer that they can't refuse. So it seems like it's not doing much, but there is always a deeper purpose behind every post, behind every ad. It's all strategic. So I'm very glad you touched up on that. That's a great strategy. That's actually one of the strategies we use with our ads. We hit the person's pain point. We sympathize with them and explain and show them how we know what they're going through. We give them a tip that they can do right now to go and do something, and we give them an offer that can't be beat to come in and do it with us. So that's you just use one of our strategies organically there, and that's great value for those watching.
Actually, a friend of mine does. He makes glass products, right? So he has glass blowing things that he does on Instagram, and I mean, people will sit there and watch that. You know, they will. So where are they going to go when stores are open and people are buying stuff like this? They're going to go and buy his stuff. You know?
Oh, sorry.
Right. And remember, your pixel.
You know, and it's not costing him a dime to do it.
And remember, your pixel is also tracking organic videos. So when it is time to run ads, we use that information. So the more active you are, the more you help our paid advertisement as well.
Yep.
And going back to the pixel, Matt, I wanted to explain. I explained the part how pixel works with us as marketers, and I did not explain how it works with Facebook, right? So we may wonder, why does Facebook give us a free pixel? Why are they giving us the power to gain all that information? Well, the beauty of that is the pixel, most websites out there that are done professionally have pixels installed. Most pages out there have pixels installed. So Facebook also gathers information. Let's say that Kristen owns a Chevrolet dealer and you're looking to purchase a Camaro, Matt, and I'm looking to purchase a Camaro. There are pixels all over the Chevy sites in our town. Now you're looking for prices, specifications, you're looking for reviews. You went to a Google auto loan calculator. You've been looking at it for a week. I've only looked at price and the picture. Facebook now says, who is more than likely to buy based on the information that I have? This is where the quality of the ad really kicks in, okay? Facebook says, okay, who has the better quality of ad? They're probably getting the most clicks. I'm probably making the most money with them. So who will see the ad of the person that is ready to buy? They're always going to get the ad from the person that has the best ad because Facebook is making the most money. So basically you want to make sure that your ad is always has a good quality. You want to always improve it, because when it's time for Facebook to select who is going to get that customer that is ready to buy, whoever has the better quality and is paying Facebook the most is who is going to get that customer. So that's another reason why we have to always outwork the competition, improve our ads, because we want to have the algorithm in our favor. We want to have the algorithm give all the bad leads to our competitors while we take all the good leads, because we're doing the correct job.
So bring up a lot of good stuff. I mean, as far as the ads go, the one thing I used to do, and it's funny because, and guys, don't do this because it doesn't work. I've tried it, and I used to go to Frank Kern's page. I saw business insights. Go, Frank Kern business insights. Let me look at the business insights. You go to people's business page, you can go to their insights and you can actually see what ad they run. But what you don't see is how they targeted it, what they're doing on the backside of it. So you might use the exact same creative and it might fall flat on its face. So Nelly, something though that I was, Nelly, see, Nelly is marketing. It's all
Call me Nelly.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, so Nelly, with the, I've seen ads where literally there's a group of people called Secure the Bag. I'm one of those strange people that I watch people's ad copy. I go, oh my God, this is amazing. Because ad copy, I think, is one of the most challenging things to master. And then making sure that you have something that's relevant, but you're also clear and concise in what you're selling. How are people that, because I've seen some ads and I'm like, this isn't the greatest of ad copy. This isn't the greatest imagery, but you see they have tons of likes, tons of comments. So what do I do? As a curious person, learn more, even though I'm just curious.
It's not that great.
I see all these people. What's that? How do you do that?
Well, another good thing about Facebook is that we're able to repurpose posts for the same ad. So we don't know how long that ad, we don't know when it was created. It could have been, the actual ad itself could have been created 6 months ago and it has collected 300 likes over the last 6 months. And now they use the same ad for a retargeting. And now you might see it 6 months later. So you think it has 400, 500 likes, but really it was built over the course of 6 months. So that's why you may see some ads that have all the engagement from 30 campaigns back. Basically. So as long as you keep repurposing the ad, you're going to show those shares and likes on every new campaign. It's just going to keep building with it.
And I heard too that a lot of times people will actually, so you're talking about even sharing like the Facebook post ID. And then is that what you're saying when you say repurposing a campaign, where you would actually share that ID and then run it to that ID with the new ad set?
Correct.
How does that work? Okay.
Correct. So you grab the same exact post ID and you run a brand new ad under new interest, new retargeting, new budget, new purpose. But you use the same exact post that you used 6 months ago. Correct.
Okay. On retail, like if you see like, hey, get this ring or because we did retail, so you see a lot of that. Like you could have something that has 18,000 likes. You know what I mean? Some sort of product that people have bought that has that many likes. It's crazy. So you see a lot.
I know. I mean, a lot of things is also the budget. How much budget are they pushing? I mean, how wide is their targeting? Are they spending $300, $400, $500 a day? Are they spending $20 a day? If you do a really good job with the targeting, which I'll explain a little bit of how we do that. But if you do a really good job with the targeting, you'll be hitting a good audience. So you will start getting more engagement than you might have with any other post. And if you're putting a lot of money behind it, then you're really going to hit the masses. So if 100,000 people see your ad every day, getting 100 likes may not be much, you know.
So Nelly, I'm a real estate agent. You open it up now, targeting. So
let's go.
What do I do? What do I target? What are some good things to target as a real estate agent? Because I know a lot of realtors right now, even though the people that are pushing forward are the ones that are going to be literally the well-known, the go-to. Now is the time because everyone is glued to their phone. They have absolutely nothing else going on. A lot of people. So what are you doing for targeting for realtors? What do you recommend?
All right. So basically, I'll go a step back to how we psychologically think about targeting. Okay. So we want to put ourselves in the customer's shoes. We want to get into their world. As someone that's looking to purchase a home, what are the sites that they visit? They're obviously on Trulio, they're on Zillow, they might be on Mortgage Payment Calculator. So for the first thing we do is basically research who we're trying to target. We get into their life, we look at their daily life, what words they use, how they phrase certain problems that they're facing, and we use all that information to basically create our ad copy and create our targeting. So a good way to do, I always say test, test, test. There is no cookie cutter formula for anything. The best way to start is to start wide open And as you get information, start narrowing down from there. Yes, you're not going to start with all the momentum, but you are moving in the right direction every day. And you will eventually get to a point where you can just continue to push something that is really working. So think about when you target the interest, think about Zillow, think about Trulio. What's one thing that every person probably does when they're buying a home, period, is the mortgage loan calculator. So you want to target those interests. You want to test them against other interests that you may find are interesting. You may want to target TV shows that they watch, magazines that they read, Facebook groups that they're a part of. So there is a big, deep investigation and market research that we do prior to going into the targeting and the ad copy. So that would be my advice for everyone. Start there within your area, do research that is specific to your area, and create something catered specifically that solves the problem of the person you're trying to help.
Wow. That gives everyone a lot of insight. And guys, if you found value out of everything you just said, smash the like button, give us a love, throw out some love, because I mean there's some great stuff that's being shared here. And ultimately, what I'd like for you Nelly, with your vision and where you see things going, what do you think are some of because we talked about real estate, but what do you think are some of other businesses right now? I mean, real estate we know is picking up and it will be thriving, but are there any other businesses that you can think of right now that you feel like can really weather the storm during this time and do well?
I would say real estate and coaching. Okay. A lot of the environment is changing in the world with education. 20 years ago, the only way was to go to college, get a college degree. Now you can learn a skill and use it for yourself. So the beautiful thing about I lost my train of thought where I was trying to go with this.
We were talking about you have to go to school, you have to get an education. I mean, it's a wide open,
right.
Open.
So if you can show people how you have transformed and changed your life, and you can coach them and teach them the same, that is where the most value is being generated, because you have a professional that's in the industry that got to the point where he can actually show you every step he took. And if you can develop the curiosity and the interest in those and help them get past those fears, I don't think that's something that can ever die. I mean, us as a human race, we're always trying to improve. We're never happy with where we're at. Maybe not monetary, but spiritually, emotionally. I mean, we're always trying to be in a better position than we were. So people will always look to better themselves. There will always be those that are willing to risk it all to better themselves. So I have noticed that's one of the industries within the last month where some of the cost per leads have dropped. Because I think now that people are home, they're realizing that they have more time where they can actually chase something that they want to do, where they can actually learn something that they want to do. So that may be directly related to the reason why the cost per lead is going down, but that is a very hot niche right now that is taking off and is gaining a lot of traction.
Okay. So coaching and real estate. As far as the targeting, because we talked about going into interest groups, we talked about would like first-time home buyer, can you actually identify, like how would you identify? Because I think there's a setting in there that says first-time buyer, or are you familiar with that?
Not anymore. With real estate ads, Facebook is very strict with their policies. When you run real estate ads, you even have to go into a special category. Basically, they don't want you to show anyone that personal information about them. You can't talk specifically and call someone out on a problem they have, or hey, first-time home buyer. So Facebook does not give us that option anymore. So we have to work within certain parameters, and we have to get creative with just the interest, and we can narrow down the audience. So basically we can build an audience of a bunch of interests that a buyer might have, and then we can narrow down to another interest that first-time home buyers might have. So we might be able to get around it and narrow it down that way, but there is no specific option to just target first-time home buyers. This is where being strategic and doing your homework comes into play.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I mean, so they kind of took away a lot of the easier ways to target people, because it seemed like it used to be a whole lot easier.
Yeah, I mean, they had a lawsuit recently for privacy, basically for people being nervous about their privacy. So they're getting very strict as marketers. We're having to get creative. We're having to follow up with the ad policies every other week because they roll out new changes. They made this a proven ad for a new change that just came out 2 weeks ago. So part of running ads is also staying on top of the Facebook policies that change so often. And basically, I mean, your results are dependent on it. So staying plugged in and connected to every Facebook update is crucial as a Facebook ad marketer.
Not to put you on the spot, but do you know of how would I find like Facebook policies? Is there a site? Is there a place? Can I Google it? Like, what do you normally do?
There is. You go to google.com, you type in Facebook ad policies. They are categorized by sections, and every section is very detailed. So there is a lot to read. There are a lot of different areas that and each of them have their own set of rules. So you have to go spend time and educate yourself through that. Facebook does have a page for that. Yes.
Can you advertise a loan program? Like, let's say someone does have a really good, tasty program for someone who is a first-time buyer. Can you advertise the program itself and say, you know, like if it's an FHA thing or anything like that, can you get specific about a program and not the person? Can you do it that way?
Yes, we can. What we do is another trick. I'm dropping tons of tricks here, guys. So for you that are running ads, use this, okay? So another trick, don't talk to the person directly. Don't say, hey, first-time homeowner. Say, this is how I have helped this is how I have helped many first-time home buyers. So again, you have to be strategic with what you write, strategic with what you say, because the artificial intelligence is also listening to you in your videos. You have to be strategic with your interests. But there is a workaround around everything. You just have to know how to work around it.
That's why you got to hire Nelly here, because yeah, it's a lot to. I mean, I've gone at it myself for some time to give everybody just some very open behind the curtain what we've actually. I want to say we've spent a little over $3,000, and I believe that with the individuals that came through, how many people we've sold. I want to say we've had around 9, maybe 10, as far as like, because a lot of our ad spend and the way that we do it, it is a long-term strategy. It's not something where, you know, I love when I see people that are like, oh, wow, like I see this one ad that blew up. Russell Brunson has a thing, and I don't listen, nothing against, I mean, this is literally on my desk right here. I mean, I have nothing but love for them, but
right.
The one funnel away thing, it's genius in terms of marketing, but come on. I mean, you're not going to become a millionaire off of one singular funnel where it's just going to be first time around, you're going to strike gold. Now, it's possible, but it's going to take time. I mean, would you agree? I mean, and again, that might be totally contradictory, but would you agree with that?
100%. It's just like the ads. You're one funnel away after you've tested several funnels. I mean, every funnel gives you information that you can use on the next funnel to get closer and closer. Same things with the ads. Every ad gives you information that you can use for the next ads to get closer and closer. So you are one funnel away, but we don't know how many funnels you're going to go through until you get to that one funnel, you know. That's how I see it.
Hundreds of thousands you may have spent to get yourself known or figure out that, yeah, because the thing is, and I mean, I tell everyone this too, because I mean, of course, we have an inside sales company. I tell everyone the exact same thing. Yeah, you can call your own leads. Sure. I mean, you can prospect or you can hire your own person. But a lot of times what ends up happening is we are, as humans, we need to generally learn by trial by fire, where how much heat are you willing to withstand? And that's where I really think it is important to have somebody who is an expert that knows the ins and outs that can help you get through it. Because I mean, hell, I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on ads before I really saw any real return. With you guys, it was much less because you already had you had the shortcuts. And when I say shortcuts, you actually had the shortcut to success. And generally in life, I always say there is no shortcuts, but when you have a proven written out blueprint, an actual format, a formula, a step-by-step system, it makes a huge difference. So, wow. Well, Nelly, man, thank you.
Thank you, man. And
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. I'm glad that I was able to help. If anyone got
Yeah.
any value out of this, go ahead, try it on your own. See, see what happens. If you don't have the time and you want a professional to do it, feel free to go follow me on my Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/NellyIsMarketing or send me an email at info@nellyismarketing.com. I would be glad to give you guys tips and show you guys and help you guys basically if you want to do it on your own. I give tips on my page all the time. So just following me, you'll be able to learn things that you can do on your own. So follow me, guys, and I hope that I was able to help.
One last thing before we just close everything down, because I gotta have the closing insights, the closing thoughts from you. Is there anything that you would want to add for anyone that's watching? Anything that you want to just touch on real quick as a closing thought? Again, we have all the time in the world. I mean, but I want to be respectful of your time and everyone else. But anything that you have that you want to give just some last closing thoughts?
I would say test, test, test. We don't know what's going to work until we have the numbers for it. So let the numbers guide you. Don't go of what you think works just because in your experience, you have only served people between the ages of 35 and 50 does not mean that that is all of the people you can work with. So basically test, and let the numbers guide you. Don't guess where everything can fall. Do it within a process, do it properly, and you'll see results.
I want to share one last thing from my own fall on my face experience running ads. So when I first started, I was running ads for conversion, which, by the way, I will tell you guys, yes, conversion, you're going to get a lot of sales, but if you do it right, you'll get a lot of sales. But also, if you run it for conversion, it's about 10 times more expensive, and generally you don't have an audience. So unless you're selling something that is gold, and it is like literally you're giving it to them, giving it away, and even then, still sometimes you give stuff away, it doesn't always work. So what I would recommend is making sure that you don't follow the mistake I made. What I was doing is I was running it for conversion. So my cost of my leads were 10 times more.
Yeah.
And then when I was running my ads, I didn't have the right, so my ad copy would be good, but it was confusing. Sometimes it would end, the thoughts would be fragmented, or I wouldn't finish up what I was saying, which happens here too in real life. I'm sure it's happened on other podcasts before. Sometimes you don't finish the thoughts because you're thinking faster than you can get it out there. But when you have that ad copy, your ad copy and your creative have to match one another. And I know it sounds so trivial, like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But whatever ad copy you put out there, then the actual imagery or the video has to match that message. And then once it matches the message, even more important, when they click a link to learn more, which by the way is always a really good one, I like to use learn more. Click here to learn more. They click to learn more. When they go on your landing page also better match everything else.
That's correct. And another reason is because many people prefer to watch a video. So you're targeting both people. Many people can watch the video, but they want to watch the video, but they can't listen to it. So always add captions to it. So Facebook shows, if you look at the statistics, videos have 80% more engagement when they have captions on them. Wow. So does
Facebook give you a hard time about having too much script on the screen then, or that doesn't count?
It does. When you have an image and on the graphic itself, you put like 50% off, the best thing, or whatever you put. If you have too much text on the graphic, then it will basically constrain your reach. So it's going to stop you from reaching so many people. And they will warn you as well. They'll let you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Wow.
And I wanted to share one tip that for everyone to use here. Basically, guys, one thing you can do right now, if you have any takeaway, is go on your page, post, gain traction, use this time to get known. If you can afford it, start running engagement campaigns, get your name out there, start building information, because we will be back. And when we come back, you will have all the ammo you need to start taking over. So that is the one takeaway that I would like for everyone to take from this.
Yes, don't stick your head in the sand, because the next 30 days, guys, is going to be one of the most impactful, pivotal times for you in your business, whether you're going to grow it, or either your business is going to grow or it's going to get very slow. And, not trying to sound like Dr. Seuss here, but ultimately you cannot stick your head in the sand, because if you're going to gain traction, now is the time. There's so many people that are watching everything you do. And frankly, I mean, even I have an entire content team, and I still look back and say, wow, I wish I posted more. I got to post more live videos. So it's, and it doesn't always have to be business related, guys. It can be just fun things. It can be, I mean, hell, there are people out there right now that are doing like parody songs, and they tie in their business. I mean, I've seen some people's business blow up from that. So, because the goal is entertainment right now. People can't tell the difference between watching television or watching Facebook. So
that's it.
And laughter is important right now too. So if you can make someone laugh, I mean, from all the gloom and doom we see, if
that's
you
true.
give someone a chuckle and give them a break, they'll remember that. They will.
Absolutely.
Around these, it's very valuable. Humor is you don't see enough. So.
And I would say look to give value at this point. That's why even here. Yeah, that's why even here, and when I pulled Nelly in before, it was the first thing I said, hey, listen, I really want to go deep on some things about how to gain traction with your ads, how to get the most out of it, so that everyone that's watching can essentially plug and play, copy and paste, and use a similar approach. So, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for all the viewers that have tuned in as well. I hope you guys got a ton of value out of this. And until next week, same channel, same place. And we'll see you guys on our next episode. See you guys.
Thank you, guys.